17 SDG advocates. Are you ready? Yeah. You're one of the 17 SDG advocates. What is your role as an SDG advocate, and specifically your role, talking to companies and business leaders?
Well, for me, I suppose one of the reasons I was picked is a combination of my current position as a traditional ruler, but also my past life as a CEO of a bank and as governor of central bank, which gives me connections in the corporate world. The first task, obviously, is to leverage the contacts I have to try and encourage business leaders to get involved in this SDG project. But most important, to let them understand that while the UN is pushing SDGs, it is really the responsibility of the people on the ground to deal with the problems that face the people and the planet, and we all have to take that responsibility. So getting them involved, getting them to accept that responsibility, getting them to commit resources and time to that is my first task. But more important, I think, beyond money, a lot of what is missing, especially in less developed countries, is an awareness. It's also a question of right policies. Sometimes it's just social policies and attitudes. And in my role as a traditional ruler, as a religious leader, I believe dealing with cultural attitudes, religious interpretations that do have an impact on development, such as, for example, attitudes towards the education of girls, child, attitude towards the age at which girls get married, attitudes towards family planning, and so on. These are not issues that require money. They require a change of a mindset and a new awareness. And I imagine I'm uniquely placed, being both a traditional and religious leader in a traditional part of the world, to help that. And these have spin-off effects on reduced fertility rates, reduced demographic growth, and therefore improved sustainability.
What role can the private sector, the companies, the business leaders of the world play in helping us to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals?
Well, first of all, I think when they begin to focus, they have to focus on profits, but when they stop focusing exclusively on profits and realize that there is more to life than profits, they will begin to understand that global inequalities have created pockets of misery and basically silos that have become slums in the world. So greater awareness of how the expropriation of economies and the huge profits that we by corporates have a mirror image in the increased impoverishment of other people would help. So we have seen very rich corporate leaders make pledges, basically giving up half of their wealth to philanthropy and to poverty. These are the kinds of things we need to be put for these resources to be plugged back into the areas that are most in need. And I think that conscience and that consciousness is something that we need.
Many people think that governments can't achieve the SDGs alone, that we need all parts of society and business as employers, as investors, as manufacturers can play a big role in sort of embedding the SDGs into their corporate strategies. What do business leaders tell you about their efforts to embed the SDGs as a sort of core